Hey everybody, welcome to Behavior Bites. My name is Brad.
And I'm Mike, and we're also joined by our producer, Aaron.
All right, this is a very special episode, you guys, because this is tips and tricks to get you to the end of the school year. I don't know when you're watching this, but for us, it's getting pretty close to the end of the year. So as we get into those last several weeks of school, I want to keep it tight, right, Mike?
Yeah, well, one thing I really like doing, this is my first tip to get me to the end of the year when I was in the classroom, is I tried to roll in a couple things that were a bit novel. Spice it up. I want to spice it up a little bit. Just something for the kids to look forward to, something that gets me kind of excited. So maybe it's a board game party on a Friday afternoon. Or maybe, you get a hold of your old college buddy that brings his pet boa constrictor for a classroom visit. Just something kind of novel to drive to the end of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, with that, you still want to stay tight with your routines.
Yep. You sound like a fun hater right now, Brad.
I'm not a fun
Brad's
hater.
a fun hater.
I'm not a fun hater, but you can have fun, engaging, novel activities and still have high expectations and consistent structure. It's getting to the end of the year. You don't want to get too loosey-goosey. That's when things tend to fall apart.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you got a point there. So the next one, this is one that I think some of us struggle with, some of us that work a lot with kids with frequent challenging behaviors. I think it's hard to see that the work we've put in. So here's my next tip. Look for progress where progress is hard to find. And by that, I mean, here would be an example. Let's say you've had a kid that back in January spent 58 minutes out of classroom every day. Now, getting towards the end of the year, he's down to 42 minutes out of classroom.
Yeah.
That's a lot of progress, but it doesn't feel that way.
Right.
So unless you take that time to reflect back on it and really look at it and celebrate the successes that you've had with these kids, you almost have to be real active about it and look for it.
Yeah,
so look for progress where it's not always hard or not always easy to find.
I'm going to jump off of that into something fairly similar, and that is find reasons to catch kids being good. We've talked about it a ton. If you're not already doing it, my goodness gracious, start doing it now. All right? So here's the thing. The closer that we get to the end of the year, the more that we're going to need to rely on that relationship currency that you've been building up throughout the year. Kids aren't going to be good just to be good, especially as you're into the last week, 2 weeks of school when schedules are different, routines are different, things are kind of crazy. And so what we've been doing all year long is we've been investing into our kids relationally. And we're going to need to draw on that in order to get us to the end of the year. They might not do it because it's the right thing to do, but they're more likely to do it because they've got a good relationship with me. All right, guys, it's been a long year. It's been a good year. I hope it's been good for you guys too. Go forth, do good things.